On Friday, the July 31st, 2026, the Uganda Investment Authority's One-Stop Centre hosted 40 student innovators from the StartUp Hatch 1 programme for an interactive session on business compliance.
They must make sure that the land is in the company, in this person's names, so that some people can search report here on land, and also any land related party has land title and anything. So you can always visit this in case you're purchasing land or we're interested in land management.
The visit began with a guided tour, giving participants first-hand insight into how 16 government agencies operate under one roof to deliver seamless business registration, licensing, investment facilitation, and compliance support, followed by an interactive session in the auditorium.
As you've heard, we have about 15 government agencies that serve as a one-stop center. We support businesses from business registration, as you've heard, tax registration, environment and standards. We have KCCA, we have power, we have national water, those of you with international colleagues, we have immigration services, even we have banking services, we have everything that you would require to start your businesses.
About the one-stop center, it has both a physical and electronic. On the physical, we have multiple government services that provide investment facilitation services all under one roof. We've listed that on the ground floor. On the electronic, there's ebis.go.ug, primarily for the licensing, but with integrations to the other entities as well, where you can be able to receive the entity services. So the main objective of the one-stop center services is to increase operational efficiency, reduce the cost of doing business, and position Uganda as a premier investment destination.
We want these companies to achieve compliance, meaning that they have to be certified with different institutions that I already see here. So we wanted them to come here, ask critical questions that would be limiting them from achieving this objective. So Makerere Innovation Incubation was started in 2017 through a partnership between Makerere University and the Ministry of Finance and Planning Economic Development. The key objective was to set up a low-cost incubator model that was focused on commercializing university innovations coming from either faculties or students and ensuring that they can be turned into big companies that are innovating. So saying low-cost, we majorly focused on innovations that use technology because they're very easy to scale. If we were to come with all our portfolio here, we would actually fill the whole house. This particular program is called StartUp Hatch 1.0, which is under the arm of venture building, which is a fully staged incubation program that runs for 6 months. These teams are actually 20, I think some are just joined us. We've been touring a few spaces that are innovation hotspots across the city. And then the reason was we wanted these teams to learn from what actually the industry is currently doing. We had a successful bootcamp a few weeks ago, and September we'll be having a demo day where these innovators will be pitching to a panel of investors, judges, and we're trying to mobilize different stakeholders and partners to work with to ensure that they can commercialize their projects.
According to the documentation that PCC has online, to get the trading license you need a physical address. But as you apart from the investment manager, majority of these are university projects, so as you understand, to get the physical address, there's that barrier of entry to parent and all that stuff.
KCCA is Kampala Capital City Authority with the governing body of the capital city on behalf of central government. Where KCCA is not, he asked the question of where KCCA doesn't operate, what happens. KCCA specifically works in 5 divisions of Kampala, that is Central Division, Machindi, Kawempe, Nakawa, and Uganda Division. Where we not, Ministry of Local Government takes up. When you look at my uniform, you'll see it has a number of agencies on it. I have your RSP because it's the start of business. Before you formalize your business, you can't come to KCCA. So we need to have a legally registered business. You need URA before you come to KCCA. And where you're in Kampala, you come to us. When you're done with those and you're not in Kampala, you go to Ministry of Local Government. That is the governing body of the area where you're located. I don't expect a kiosk on Kampala Road. So because I have to ensure I enforce that, I'll be very strict when it comes to physical address. Though we also understand there are startups as young generations, we're doing startup business and have briefcase business. So when we talk and agree, maybe you have a friend's place where you can temporarily sit and legalize business, you can start with that as you really are.
So basically, if your company is 1 million share capital, you'll pay 35,000 for reservation, then around 215 for final registration. So if you have interfaced with lawyers who are charging you 1 million, 2 million to register companies, you now have the right information. You have the bargaining power, you know where to start from. Now currently, for you to register formally, we need national IDs if you're Ugandans, then passports for non-Ugandans. Then one needs to have a valid telephone number, plus 256 and all that, Airtel, MTN, whatsoever. Then we are all digital online, all our services are online.
And when you go online, and for me, our setup is patient-based with integrated caretaker seat. And when we asked online, the information provided said that we have to get like compliance with UNBS and NDA. So I've come to get more clarification over that.
Be mindful of standards which we develop. Okay? Once we have developed a standard, we don't implement it ourselves. It is the mandate of another institution. In this case, it is NDA. So, UNBS, come and get the standard, implementation, go to NDA. We work to promote businesses. How do we do that? We come to you, we certify the product. Why do we certify the product? Because we want your products to trade in the country, we want your product to trade in the region, but we also want your product to trade internationally.
The first thing that you will come as innovators is seek for funding. If you go to any bank, now even if you go to get any loan from the bank, they require you to certify that your business is environmentally friendly. So we offer you that certificate of approval of environmental impact assessment.
What are we saying? When you get 13, if you do not pay your taxes, file your returns, it is your right. If we give you an assessment to say, I don't agree with that assessment, I wish to object and give you my correct standing. It means you have records.
Then for the cases of small businesses like us, when we are just starting our businesses, we have some exemptions from some taxes because you have a small capital and then you have to pay environmental friendly compliances, property compliances, local service tax, which is really a lot.
The small taxpayer has what we call the presumptive return. The presumptive return is the return that a small taxpayer feels. The threshold for that is 10 million. The least, if you're in Kampala, you will pay 80,000.
My name is Iradukunda Jemima, and I'm the founder for Wikea 256. So Wikea 256 is an innovation venture that is majoring at creating a patient bed with a caretaker seat. What I've learned majorly was the standards from UNBS. I did not actually know that we have standards in Uganda. Like, I didn't know that you actually have something to follow before you produce a product. It is not just you designing the engineering, but you also have to follow the regulatory regulations in our country. So I've also liked the presentation from the URA because we have a lot of misinformation in the country.
For innovators, startups, and established enterprises alike, the One Stop Centre remains a trusted partner in business facilitation. Visit the Uganda Business Facilitation Centre at Plot 1, Baskerville Avenue, Kololo, today. These services are equally accessible online through the eBiz platform at www.ebiz.go.ug. Invest in Uganda today. Access East and Central Africa.